I'm 19 years old and I'm from Sweden. I'm currently working as an au pair in China, in Beijing. I came here during Spring Festival this year, so the end of February, and I've been here for almost 6 months now. There's been a lot of ups and downs. It can be very fun being an au pair, but it can also be very challenging and takes a lot of energy. When I first got here, like I said, it was during the Spring Festival, so Beijing was almost completely empty. Very few people compared to what it is normally. The highway from the airport home was almost completely empty. My host dad picked me up from the airport and drove me directly to where I'm now living. And normally the contact people would pick you up from the airport and you would spend some time, a day or two, with them first. They would give you some information, some tips about how to act with children. But in my situation, because I arrived when I did, I was kind of thrown straight into it. However, I guess I was lucky in a sense because the children were sick when I came here. They had the influenza, so I had a day or two where I could just relax and catch up with my jet lag and everything before I started working. I also had approximately a month before school started, so I had time to just get to know the children, get to know the family and settle down properly before I had school and homework and such on my plate as well. But when I first got here, the children were very reluctant to spend time with me. They didn't want to play, they didn't want to talk to me, they were very, very quiet and very shy at first, which is to be expected. I take care of 2 children, one of them is 3 and one of them is 6. They both had their birthdays while I was here. I would say it took about 1-2 weeks before they even allowed me to play with them, and maybe 2 months before I felt like I was really included and they had fully opened up to me. But it was really difficult at first. I didn't really feel welcome, and it's easy to just try to sit with your phone and like, okay, if you want to, you can come to me. But the key to getting them to play with you, I guess, is just being available. Just be persistent, show them that you're gonna be there, you're gonna keep being there, and you want to play with them. And sometimes you just have to have patience until they are willing to play with you, until they come to you. Yeah, there's nothing else I can say about that. It's gonna take a while before they open up. That's a fact. They're not going to talk to you very first. So just have patience. They're going to talk to you, and you're going to be a part of the families one way or another. I got lucky. Both of the parents in my family speak very fluent English, so I have no problem with communication. In my family, there's also the grandparents, so they help taking care of the children too, which means that I'm rarely at home with the children alone. I usually have someone else there too. Yeah, a normal day normally looks like I go to school from 8 to 11:30, eat lunch in school, then I have until 4 o'clock where I have some free time where I can do what I want, usually spent doing homework or hanging out with friends from school or whatever you want to do. Then at 4 o'clock the children are off from kindergarten, and then I go to the kindergarten, I pick them up from there together with the grandpa, and we take them home, and then I spend the afternoon playing with them. I mainly spend most time with the older child. She is gonna start primary school now this fall, so it's a lot more studying with her. Since the younger one is so young, only 3 years old, teaching him English is mainly about just playing, just teaching him normal everyday language. And it's always makes me so happy when I realize that he uses a phrase that I know I have used. It's a phrase I don't even think about that I'm using, and all of a sudden he uses it perfectly fine, perfect grammar and everything. And it's really fascinating how he just picks it up and understands what it means and understands when he can use it. With the older one, it's more actually teaching her English. We have some books, and the parents usually help giving material which I can use. I try to have her read, and I read for her and things like that. But it's also a lot of playing, just playing everyday language, letting them see normal things, teach them things like refrigerator or table or manners, things like that. Yeah, sometimes we have a very close sibling kind of relationship with the children. Sometimes it's more of a teacher relationship. It depends on how old the child is and also what mood they are in. Sometimes they don't want to do anything. The oldest one doesn't want to study. She complains that the younger one can only play and she can't play all the time. So it's a lot of racing, and it's almost like you're an older sibling to them in that sense. And then sometimes you're a teacher and you just have to make them do things, because some things they just have to do. It's very different from where I am at home, where you don't study anything, you don't learn anything until you start school. But here it's a lot more competition between different families, and you have to be the best, or at least very good. And they always compare to other families and other children and such. So you have to accept that they have to learn. They have to study even from a very young age, even before they start school. Like during the months that I've been here, there's been many ups and downs. I went through a period where the oldest one was very clingy. She didn't want to leave me alone. She didn't complain that I had days off. But that was about 4 or 5 months in, or 4 to 5 months in. But then the au pair they had before left after 5 months. So if it took 2 months for them to open up, and then 3 months later the au pair left, then it's kind of understandable that she was a bit clingy and was afraid to let me go. It can be very exhausting sometimes. Sometimes they require a lot of attention, and sometimes it's a lot of physical play, and sometimes it's very just sitting around playing with Lego or something. So it can be very, very different from day to day, depending on what mood they are in and what they feel like doing. So sometimes it can be really exhausting, and I just need my free days to just lay in my bed and read books or chat with friends or listen to music, watch movies, whatever. And sometimes I feel like, okay, I have a lot of energy, I can go out and hang out with friends and whatever. So it's very, very up and down. In the beginning it's exhausting, it's a lot of new things, it's a bit stressful sometimes with school and then job and school and job and whatever, but you get used to it. I think unless you really like children and don't mind spending a lot of your time with them, then it's gonna be tough. If you don't like it, it's gonna be very tough, because you live with children. They don't always have a concept that it's your day off, and sometimes they come into your room and are a bit annoying, but that's okay. But it's always it always makes me very happy when I see that they have learned something, when I see the progress. And I guess that's what it's all about, teaching them something and getting an experience out of it. Anyways, I hope that it helped a little bit at least. Bye bye.